All right, raise your hand if you actually know that song. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. All right, has everybody got notes? All right, here we go. We're going to pray, and then we're going to get started. Will y'all pray with me? Father, thank you for your love for us. Thank you for your word. God, we pray tonight is a night that we, yes, get to have fun, but yes, Lord, we learn instruction. And God, ultimately, we hear from you. God, may your spirit fill this place, and may your spirit be upon us. And ultimately, God, may it bring honor and glory to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Everybody said, amen. All right, so we are in the final session of Bodybuilders, the final chapter. So just like you're almost done with school, we're almost done with this series. It's been fun. We've used this bodybuilders imagery, obviously on purpose. We're talking about the gym, working out, getting stronger muscles. That's a metaphor for the church and this body that we're actually trying to build, this spiritual body. So I'm going to use the gym metaphor to kind of get us started tonight. So who actually likes to go to the gym? Okay. Come on up here for just a second. I know that's a lie. Anybody else actually like to go to the gym? Okay, come on. And one more. Go ahead, sit down, son. You ain't been to the gym ever, period. One more. No gym? No girls' gym? No one? It could be like running or training. Yeah, come on. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, don't put that first slide up yet. We're going to talk about the gym a little bit, and I'm going to give you 3 scenarios to consider. So you're going to have 3 scenarios to consider, and we're going to try to teach something here. But each scenario that I'm going to give you, like it's going to be on your paper, that scenario needs somebody, not something, somebody, okay? So you're going to hold this. Don't reveal it yet. Let's do this one for you. And this one for you. Okay. So 3 scenarios. All right. So scenario number 1 is what?
Max weight personal record.
Okay. So what does that mean? What's this scenario?
Your PR.
Which is?
Like the most weight you've lifted.
So you're going for your max weight. That could be bench press, or it might not even be weight. It could be running, right? Let's say your max record on a mile is 7 minutes, and you're going to try to do 6 minutes, 30 seconds. So this is scenario 1, okay? You're trying to get a personal record, either weight, running, something like that. Okay, scenario number 2 is what?
Not feeling it.
Not feeling it. What does that mean?
Well, really, when you're not feeling it, you just don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to work out. Probably too tired, stressed.
Ever been there?
Was today.
Yeah, same here, right? So scenario 2, not feeling like going to the gym. All right, what's scenario 3?
Time for a change.
You can show them what it is. It says time for a change. What does that mean?
It's like when you realize you're not happy with what yourself looks like or feels like mentally or physically.
Yeah, so it could be both, right? It could be like, hey, I'd like to do more push-ups, and I'm not strong enough, so it's time for a change. I want to do some more. Maybe I do want to cut some weight, or maybe, hey, I'd like to get into swimming. It's just time for a change. I need to build up my cardio, right? So 3 scenarios, 3 different like gym-type scenarios. But all these scenarios need somebody, right? They need somebody, not something, somebody. So let's go back to scenario number 1. You're going for, let's use the weight thing for a reference. You're going for a max bench press, right? And you want to achieve this personal record, but you need somebody, I think. Who do you think you need?
A personal trainer.
Maybe. Somebody said it. Give her a hand. A spotter, right? So let's say you're going for that record, right? And all of a sudden that bar just like lands on you, right? Like that's going to be bad. You need somebody to help bring that bar up, right? So you need a spotter. You need that person in your life that's going to say, look, if I'm not here, that weight is going to crush you. So let me help bring it up. And honestly, sometimes spotters actually don't help with the weight, right? They're just like over top of you saying, get it, and you get it up yourself anyway. But you still have that person encouraging you to pull it up. All right, so scenario number 2, you're not feeling it. Okay, well, you said you felt like that this morning. You somehow made it to the gym. Sometimes this does like require something, like you could drink like a energy drink or something like that. That'll get you going. But you need somebody. Who would you need?
You would need a motivator, someone there who is going to encourage you to push through and do your best.
1,000% right. You need what I call hype guy. You need someone in your ear saying, yo, man, we can get this. You need that person who is ridiculous energy, and you're like, okay, I wish this guy wasn't here because I really don't feel like it, but because he is here hyping me up, I'm going to get going. That's the person you need. Okay, now we're in scenario 3. Time for a change. What do you think? Again, you need somebody. What do you need?
Usually I just like use myself. I just kind of like look in my mirror and decide it's like, well, I'm going to go to the gym.
Well, yeah, you do play a critical role in changing, but you need somebody else. Who do you think you need? You want to phone a friend? Phone a friend. What do you need? You need a trainer. You need someone who's an expert. Hey, I want to, rip off 15 pounds of weight. What do I do? Trainer tells you to do this, eat this. This is the weight you need to do. Don't work out 4 days, work out 3. You need rest days. You need someone who's literally an expert in what they do, right? All 3 scenarios, 3 different scenarios, again, using gym reference, right? Need somebody in their life, right? So now let's take away the gym reference and relate it to church life, right? The other thing you should know is each of these scenarios, like, hey, we need spotter, right? We need someone to help us lift those weights. But at some point in time, you have to move away from being the spotter, and you got to get on or being spotted and get on the other side and be the spotter, right? We can't always be the one where someone is struggling or we're struggling and we're always relying on someone to lift the weight. We also have to be on the other side of that equation, right, and help lift the weight off of others. Same thing. Hey, I might not be feeling it, right, and I need hype guy, but shouldn't you be hype guy sometimes too, right? So eventually I got to move from the side of being hyped to, hey, I'm going to learn how to be hype guy as well. This is in relation to our spiritual life, right? I'm going to have things in my life that are really heavy. Like I can't lift them on my own. I need a spotter. I need you to come next to me and say, hey, bro, like, here's what I'm dealing with. It's heavy. Can you help me lift this weight? Or, hey, man, I'm not feeling it today. Can you get me hyped up? Can you encourage me? Can you help me move forward? But we can't be always on the taking end of that. Does that make sense? Like, we got to eventually grow up and be mature enough to come on the other side. And same thing with time for change. Hey, I like being trained. I like to have someone who knows what they're doing, right? And to teach me, but eventually I got to move to the other side and say, hey, I got this knowledge now. Maybe I can pour that into somebody else, right? Maybe I can be the trainer and, impart some of my knowledge. So in each of these scenarios, yes, I'm using it from a gym reference, but this is church life too. This is spiritual life too. We need people to help lift the weight, and we need to be weight lifters. We need people to say, hey, I know you're not feeling it. You can do it. And we need to be that person saying the same thing on the other side. We need to recognize where we need to change. I need to change in this area. And then we need to seek out those trainers that says, man, stop doing that. Don't run with that crowd. That's going to lead to destruction. Then we got to move to the other side and say, hey, now that I know this, I can impart that knowledge on someone else. Does all that make sense? Y'all give these volunteers a real loud round of applause. Thank you. You can keep those. Parting gift. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's worth nothing, so appreciate that. All right, so we're going to get into it. Again, we're talking about this. Did we put that slide up? Oh, you can go to that slide. I meant to tell you that. There you go. So we already moved past that one. Good deal. All right, so we're going to talk about tonight, this, I call it the main idea. And the main idea is life is hard. Did you know that? Life is hard. And at times, life can be really, really super hard. And I know life can be difficult because experience teaches me that. And experience teaches you that as well. Like, you know that you're going to go through difficult times. And I also know that life's going to be hard because the Word of God says it will be, right? Jesus himself said that life would be hard. Look what it says in John 16:33. It says, these things, this is Jesus speaking, these things I have spoken to you, comma. Now, what I'd like you to do is take out the word you and just insert your name. These things I have spoken to you, Rich. These things I have spoken to you, Raya. These things I have spoken to you, Tyson. You put your name in it. These things I have spoken to you, Rich, so that in me you may have peace. Okay, that sounds great. That's actually exactly what I want. Hold on. But in the world, you have tribulation. That means trouble. That means difficulty. That means trial. In the world, you're going to have trouble, but take courage. I've overcome the world. I know life's going to be hard because I live in this world. I have experience. But I also know that to be true because the Bible says it is. Look what it says in James chapter 1. This is one of my favorite verses because I think it's one of the most difficult verses to understand. Consider it all joy, my brethren. Again, take the word my brethren out, put your name. Consider it all joy, Jean. Oh, okay. I'll be joyful for what? When you encounter various trials, troubles, hard things, difficult things, burdens. Wait a second. You want me to be joyful when difficulty comes? This seems just completely impossible in the moment. When it's hard, I'm joyful. When it's difficult, I'm supposed to be joyful. When I'm not feeling it, depressed, all of a sudden I'm supposed to be joyful, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. So life is hard. I know it's hard through experience, and I also know it's hard because the word tells me this. But I want you to know this, that God does not leave you to your problems on your own. And I know we're talking about difficult things, but it's also important to keep in mind, God doesn't leave us alone to our joyful moments too. So it's not all about hard things. We are in this together. I need you and you need me, literally speaking. We are in this thing called life together. And so we celebrate the things that are celebrated, and we also have to go through the tough things as we rely on each other for strength. So again, I literally need you. We are to honestly just care for each other. And I think that's important because at your age, even at my age, I think we try to care for people that we like. Does that make sense? Or I only care for people that I run with. Or I only care for people that I work with. Or I only care for or encourage those who play the same sports that I do. Or maybe go to the same school that I do, right? So I want you to really think about that because we have a tendency to kind of take our circle of influence, and those are the people we encourage and care for. But really the word says that we are to rely on each other specifically in this body and specifically in the church. We're going to look at this verse, Galatians 6:2. If you can commit this verse to memory, you would make me super happy because it's an easy verse to remember, but it's really important to what we're talking about tonight. Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens. Another word for burdens would be difficulties. Bear one another's difficulties and thereby fulfill the law of Christ. So said another way, if something is burdening you, it burdens me. If something is hard for you, it's also hard for me. If something is not right with you, it's not right with me. And I'm also supposed to be there to help you. Now, you see that word burden, how it's underlined? The Greek word for burden is the word baros. B-A-R-O-S. Say it with me. Baros. Turn to your neighbor and say, baros. Say it louder. There you go. That word literally means heavy rock or stone. So think about this word picture. The word says that we are to help each other out. We are to carry each other's burdens. But the word picture for baros is a heavy stone or a rock that they would carry a long distance. So literally there's things in my life, according to this verse, there's big stones, big rocks, things that are hard for me to handle that I'm picking up and I'm walking. And almost picture it's this is so heavy, I have to sit it down. Then I pick it up again and I carry it a little further and I set it down. Then I pick it up, and then there's moments where the rock is so heavy that I can't even pick it up. Does that make sense? And it's figurative for the rock, but it's literal in my life. There's things that I think about or I go through or situations in my life or experiences in my life that we try to carry on our own. There's things that you go through in your life that you're saying, I don't want to share this with nobody. That's what this is. That's the burden. That's the heavy rock. And the word says, look, Rich, stop trying to pick up and carry that rock by yourself. There are people, number one, that are supposed to help you, and number two, that want to help you. And that's right here in this room. There are the rocks that I carry that I say, listen, it would be great if I would just share what's going on with Jean, and I know for a fact that he would come alongside me and we would carry this rock together. That's what the church, that's what this bodybuilders thing is all about. And so just keep that word picture in your mind about this rock. We all have them. If you're sitting in this room and you say, nah, I don't have this thing, burdens. I don't have baros. I don't have heavy rocks in my life. Number one, that's a lie. We all do, right? I don't know what yours is, and I don't pretend to know, right? But I do know that you have them. And some of these rocks take different shapes and forms. Some of these rocks are very physical. Like I have physical burdens. There's things that physically I can't do. There may be things that are spiritual rocks. There may be things that are emotional rocks, right? Like everybody has these rocks, these baros, and that it comes in very different forms, right? Burdens, tough things in our life. And then some of these rocks we can't carry on our own. And that's why I say we literally need each other. Look what Martin Luther says. Martin Luther, the great reformer of the faith. He says, a Christian must have broad shoulders and husky bones in order to carry the burdens of his brothers and sisters. Said another way, like if you're a Christian, you can't be like weak. Like you got to get stronger, right? That's why we're talking about bodybuilders, right? Like do you go to the gym to train and say, man, I hope for a month from now, I'm a lot weaker than when I started. Like that would be ridiculous, right? Like the goal of going to the gym and working out and bodybuilding is to get stronger, faster, more competitive. The same thing is happening in your spiritual gym, right? You should be coming here on Sunday and really every day of the week, every time you crack open this book and say, I want to get stronger, right? I want my muscles, my spiritual muscles to grow, right? And so that's the idea behind these rocks and the idea behind bodybuilding. And what you also have to understand, that's what he's trying to say, and Martin Luther's trying to say is like broad shoulders and husky bones. We got to be strong enough not only to carry some of the burdens that we have, but able to pick up pieces from somebody else. So I think it's important to note also that you got to understand, even at your age, you play a role in this church, right? You play a role inside the body of Christ. You say, hey, look, I'm in 7th grade or 6th grade. Like Pastor Ron does his thing, worship team does theirs. Like, I just come because my parents make me, right? Like, okay, we can start there. At least you're here, right? But you play a role in Waterstone. And more importantly, you play a role in Waterstone Young. Like, if you're here tonight, you play an important role in this body that we're building, in this body of Christ. And in 1 Corinthians, Paul goes into great detail talking about the body. So he talks about the church in relation to the body. He talks about some are ears, some are eyes, some are feet. We all can't be feet. We all can't be eyes. We all can't be ears. That would be a weird looking body, right? Like what if the whole body was just a giant eyeball? Isn't there like a cartoon about, is that Shrek or something? What's the giant eyeball? Minions or something? Yeah, anyway. It would look weird. You'd look like a minion. Like we would look like minions if all of us were gifted the same way. Like it would be incredibly awkward, right? But because there's 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, and you put all of my body together, okay, it looks quasi-normal. The same with the body of Christ. And so Paul goes into great detail saying, look, the church is made up of many members, but it's one body. It's one body. And no body part is lesser or greater than the other. But watch how he ends this little like diatribe about the church. In verse 26 and 27, it says, and if one member suffers, all members suffer with it. If you hurt, I hurt, period, right? And you need to understand, like, that's not just me. That's every leader. That's a person sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you. You hurt, I hurt. That's what it says right here. If you're part of the body, if you suffer, I suffer. I also suffer when you don't do your part of the body, right? That's also what he's saying. Like if we're not in it together or you're not fulfilling your part of the body, like if both my eyes stopped working, my body wouldn't function to its full potential. Same is true in this body of Christ. So if you're the eye of this church, you have to play your role. Look what else he says. If one member is honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now, you are Christ's body and individually members of it. So you may feel like you're not wanted. You may feel like you're not needed. I understand that. I have been in middle school and I have been in high school. I understand going to church. Again, you heard my testimony at Catholic church. Like, I understand, like, I didn't play a significant role in that body. I did the altar boy thing and whatever, but I can see that in some of you. You're like, hey, nobody will know if I'm there or not there. That is completely not true. We need you here, and we need you committed, not only Wednesday, Sunday, but really throughout the week. You play a critical role in this body that we're trying to build. So, key question tonight, all right? So let's talk about this. I just told you I have rocks in my life that I can't carry. And so the question I ask is, what should I do when I need help? And this really has two forms. What should I do when I need help? And what should I do when someone else needs my help, right? So I'm telling you we should do both, but I'm not telling you what to do. And that's bad teaching. So now I'm going to tell you what to do. What should I do when I'm being trained? And what should I do when I'm the trainer? And so I want to introduce you tonight to two terms. The terms are exhortation and edification. These are big words. They both start with E, so that's really helpful for you. They may sound confusing, but these are really two very, very important words and really the key to what we're talking about tonight. And both of those words are going to answer the question that I just asked you. What do I do when I'm supposed to help? And what do I do when I need help? And these two words answer that question. So let's start with the first one, exhortation. What is it? So when you see the word exhortation, before I was a Christian, I had no idea what that meant. Actually sounds a little weird. It sounds like exorcism or something. Like, I was like, this seems like a weird term. It's not that, right? Exhortation simply means to encourage. It means to urge somebody strongly. And so I want to be clear about something, because I think there's this misconception when you say, hey, I want to encourage you. It's not persuasion, right? It's not convincing. It's not trying to sell someone to your side. That's not encouragement. Encouragement is like, hey, just do it because I'm doing it. That's what I would call selling or persuasion or convincing. That is not what exhortation is. Exhortation is encouraging somebody with urgency, and there's a difference. There's a few things you should know about exhortation. Here's the first one. You are supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this, right? And you're saying, well, I am? And the answer is yes. So now you have to ask yourself, do I actually encourage people? So if you say, no, I'm not, then you might say, well, I'd like to encourage somebody, but I'm not really good at it. So what? So what? So now you have to practice. Well, I don't know how to encourage people. You just have to practice. There's really two things to be a good encourager. Real simple. Be nice. Say be nice. Be nice and be real. That's what a good encourager is. Nice and real. And if you can practice those two things, you'll be great at this word, exhortation. You'll be great at encouraging. But you have to practice it. If you don't like to be nice, this message isn't for you. If you don't like to be real with people, this message isn't for you. But you say, hey, listen, I can fit those two buckets, be nice, then just practice. Just practice. Rihanna, you encourage me so much. You and your sisters, both, like all three of you. Like when you guys worship, like it is so genuine and authentic and thoughtful. And like when the song is like, open up the windows, let the light in. Like I feel like I want to run from the front to the top, but everybody think I'd be like weird. Like, hey, get this guy out of here. But like I feel like the Spirit is moving here and there. And so like, whatever you're doing, don't stop it. I want to encourage you, like, it is awesome, it's amazing, and it's authentic. This is exactly what we need. Jean, I've got to watch you with the high school boys. I sit back and I'm like, I'm not even sure why I'm here. Like, this dude is like connected, he's on their level, he's giving real life examples. You allow space for everyone to talk. I mean, sometimes as like adults, we feel like we got to fill the voids of nobody talk. You don't do that, man. You let space exist, Ask pointed questions. No one answers. You say, hey, Matthew, what do you think about that? Like, it's awesome. Be encouraged, man. You're doing an awesome job with the high school boys. See how easy that is? Be nice, but be real. I'm not joking with you. It's awesome. I'm not joking with you. You do a great job. That's what exhortation is. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's really, really simple task. And the body needs it. And the body needs it. And quite frankly, the world needs it. Like, I can say something negative about just about everything. You can always find the dark side of a situation or a life circumstance. You can always find the negative in something, but we need some more of this exhortation. So number one, practice. Just practice. You're supposed to encourage people. Number two, you should know is some people are better at encouragement than others. And you're like, well, that's not fair. And you're actually right. Like, it's not fair, but it's biblical because exhortation is a spiritual gift. So there's gifts that you have that I don't, and there's gifts that I have, God-given gifts, I have that you don't. This gift I do not have, right? I can do it, but this isn't my giftedness. My wife, this is her giftedness. So if you're ever around Erin, she's probably the most positive person on planet Earth, right? This is her gift, like lifting people up, encouraging them, moving them forward, being the hype guy when you don't want the hype guy. That's Erin, right? And some of you are just like that. Some of you are gifted this way. In Romans chapter 12, verse 6 through 8, it says, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophecy in accordance with your faith. If it's serving, then go serve. If it is teaching, then go teach. If it's to encourage, then give encouragement. So encouragement, exhortation is a spiritual gift. You may think, hey, it's not fair. I wish I could be better at encouragement. You can do it, but just know others are going to be way better at it than you. Last thing I would say about encouragement is you got to know that your words have power. Good or bad, your words have power. Your words have power to build somebody up. In the same breath, you have power to tear someone down. You have power to destroy someone's life with your tongue. And that is true. And you got to know this. Like this thing right here, this mouth and this tongue can cause serious damage to someone's emotional, physical, and spiritual being. Like that is absolutely true. Or it can bring joy to somebody. That's true as well. Look what it says in James 1:26. This verse is like mic drop verse. Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their what? Tongue, deceive themselves. You tricked yourself. Deceive themselves and their religion is worthless. Hey, you think you're a real deal Christian? That's great. Do you talk junk about people? Okay, well then this says your religion is worthless. Like if you can't control this, now things are going to happen, like obviously, but in general, in practice, if this is kind of like your lifestyle, like not controlling your tongue, it says your religion is worthless. Psalm 141 verse 3, it says, set a guard over my mouth, Lord, keep watch over the door of my lips. To me, Rich Loomis translation, it say, God, don't let me say anything dumb, stupid, destructive to somebody. And honestly, we need to pray this a lot. We need to pray this every day. Because you know what happens when you speak? Once it comes out, it doesn't go back in, right? So if you speak those destructive words, you can't really call it back in. And it's good if you speak those joyful words or you're building someone up. But here's what's interesting about once it's out. You know where it started? Right here. So it started here, and then it goes up to right here, it sits in here, and then it comes down and goes out. So once it's out, it's like, ooh, that was a mistake. It actually isn't, because you had 3 chances to stop it. You could have stopped it here, and you didn't. You could have stopped it here, and you didn't. And then the trap, you could have trapped it right here, but you didn't, and it came out. So for us to make excuses about the destruction of our words or destructive nature of what we said, we have to be careful of that, because we actually had 3 chances to stop it. And so here's what I want to say about words as well. I'm actually talking about speaking life into people, right? You may have heard that term, speak life, Toby Mac song, I think. Speak life into people. right? But you can't speak life into other people if you're not speaking life into yourself first, right? If your self-esteem or your self-view of yourself, or you're speaking to yourself in like a negative nature, or internally you speak to yourself, or you view yourself in a negative nature, how in the world are you going to build someone up on the other side? So like speaking life into other people, it has to start with you, right? And that start with you is actually a relationship with the Lord as well, right? Like you got to, what's the old saying? You got to get the vertical relationship correct so the horizontal relationships stay where they need to be, right? Like if you want everything like this to be cool with relationships and this one's broken, expect broken here, right? This one has to be critically and honestly like on par for the rest of this to happen. So you have to constantly take inventory of how am I speaking to myself, speaking life to myself, so we can do that to other people. All right. When you think about exhortation, encouraging, you got to know that your words make a difference in someone's life. It may make a difference in their day, their week, maybe their entire life, but the body needs you. So I want to go back to hype guy for just a second. So I term that's my term, hype guy, right? So with hype guy, wouldn't it be great if like hype guy was at your bed every morning, like just getting like alarm wakes up, we got FSA today, well, that stinks. I wish someone would get me hyped. So I got a video I want to show you of like what I think hype guy is. Because there's people that are like hype guy that like just hype people up, but they're not real about it. I found this video of my friend who's like real deal hype guy. So let's see if we can watch it. No, not this one.
Number 5, King. Where's number 5? Show us 5. Where's 5? Hold it up. All right, clap for King. Clap for King. All right, King, show us number 1. All right, clap for King. Clap for okay, King, show us number 2. Number 2, King. All right, clap for King.
Can someone be that for me? Like, as funny as that video is, how do you think his friend who's holding up the card feels? That's encouragement. Like, little man was hyped for his boy. Like, that's what I need. I need to wake up in the morning and be like, man, I don't feel like going to work. You got this. Let's go. Sell some drinks today. Like, I need that guy, like, at my bed saying, oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I am going to sell some drinks today. Like, we're going to take over the world with Pepsi Cola. Like, that's what we're doing. Like, I need that guy because do you wake up every day super hyped? I don't, right? But, man, it sure be nice. And to be honest, I told you I need you. This is where I need you, right? We need each other hyping us up. Now, I'll give you another example. That's the second video. So at my job, our company went through this like reorg. I was running the Orlando market, and they said, hey, we're going to have a sales rally with all these senior executives. I'm like, okay, whatever. So they said, well, we need to get all the managers in from Central Florida. It's like 100 people. Like, these are 100 managers, kind of stiff, they're just like, they're just career people. Like, they don't like to get hyped. Like, they're barely clap at things, right? They're like, but my boss is like, hey man, let's get everybody together, and when all the senior executives come in, let's have this like big rally. I'm like, dude, do you know our team? Like they're not gonna get hyped. I'll get hyped with you. Like, I'm down for that. They're just like, no, you gotta hype the crowd up, Loomis. Like, get everybody hyped. I'm like, all right, man, I'll do my best. So I thought about, hey, what are we gonna do? Again, now picture this, like just a bunch of random 100 managers who like just sell soft drinks for a living. Like, they're not your college football crowd, right? Like, they're just normal everyday managers. And they also don't want to embarrass themselves, right? Like, what if my boss sees me? I'm not going to get promoted. Like, whatever, dude, just get hyped for a minute, right? So they said, you get the crowd hype. I said, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Watch what happens. We are obviously, some people were hyped. You can see a few people are like, I'm not doing it. My boss is watching, right? Like, whatever. You're lame. But, like, what if that was at your bedside every morning, right? Like, bounce house, UCF style, phones out, like, alarm clock goes off, it's 5 a.m., got to go to work. Whoa, oh, yeah, all right, man, let's go, let's get it. Like, I'm ready. But, like, that's life, everybody. Like, that's life. There's going to be times where I'm just like this, head down. And Rihanna, I need you to come by me and be like, yo, let's get it. Like, come on, yo. Like, we need those people, right? And sometimes you have to be those people, right? Don't get it twisted. Like, you can't be on the receiving end every time. So sometimes you got to be the hype guy as well. All right, enough about exhortation. So again, I'm trying to answer this question. What do I do when help is needed? First one is exhortation or encourage. Next one is edification. How am I doing on time? Am I good? Good, all right. Edification. Edification is much different than exhortation. Edification means to instruct. It means to teach. It means to coach somebody. So it's very close to exhortation, but it has a little bit of a different meaning to it. The word picture for edification is the act of building. So picture remember building blocks or Legos? Like you start here and you add, and eventually you have this like giant tower. That's what edification means. It means me and you are teaching each other, we're doing life together, and as we do this, we get taller, we get bigger because we are pouring into each other, right? And just like bodybuilding, like the muscles kind of stack up and eventually you go from like this bicep to like boom, right? You're all swolled up, right? That's what edification is all about. Now, I think that edification is different from exhortation because I think it has to come with something. And that something is like a relationship. So I can go encourage Rihanna, right? If I didn't know her, I'd be like, hey, you got this, you can do it. Like if we didn't have like a relationship or didn't know each other or barely knew each other, but I couldn't go teach you. I couldn't go edify you. I couldn't go instruct you if we didn't have a relationship. You'd be like, who's this dude? Like, I'm not listening to you. Like, I have to be able to trust you and you have to trust me. Like if we're gonna stack the blocks up, we have to trust each other. If you're gonna teach me something, I gotta be able to learn from you and trust you and respect you for that matter, right? So edification requires, in my opinion, like a relationship. I can offer nice words to people and pray with them, but edification, I gotta have a relationship. So there's things that you should know about edification, just like exhortation. There's 3 things that I want you to know. Number 1, just like exhortation, you're supposed to do this. Same with edification. You are supposed to do this. Like we are required or we are asked by the word to edify people. And we all have the ability to do this in some form or fashion. You have the ability to give instruction. You also have the ability to take instruction. So you say, no, I can't be taught. That's a lie. I can't teach. That's a lie. You have the ability to do both. Number 2, we all need it. We all need edification. Remember the baros? What's baros? Rock, right? Heavy rock. So I need edification because edification is going to teach me, instruct me, hey, do you want to pick that rock up? Yeah, here's how you do it. Okay, well, thanks for teaching me that, John. Now I can carry a little further. Then I set it down and be like, well, this is a new scenario. Hey, let me pour into you. Let me edify you. Let me teach you and instruct you. This is another way to carry it. Oh, I didn't think about carrying it that way. All right, get the idea? Like the word picture is like teaching, instructing, like when those difficult times, when those baros come in, we get the instruction on what to do next, the hard things, the burdens. And then thirdly, the Bible commands us to edify. Look what it says in Ephesians 4:29. It says, let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification according to the need of the moment, so that it will give grace to those who hear. There's times I need you to give me what I need in that moment. If we let it go by, it just goes by. And we had an opportunity to pour into someone. So kind of winding down for the night, what do you need to know? Number 1, you need to know there's actually a problem with these 2 words that I just gave you, exhortation and edification. You're like, hey, I don't want to deal with problems. There is a problem. There is something I think I should caution you about. Problem number 1 with exhortation and edification is oftentimes we're not real enough with each other to be exposing our vulnerabilities. That makes sense? Like, hey, I want to be encouraged. I want to be edified, but I don't want to expose the areas where I need help, the areas that I struggle with. Don't we often hide those things? Like, hey, I really don't want to share what is hard for me. It's a signal of weakness. It's a signal of, hey, like, I don't want to be that open with someone. But think about it in the aspect of the gym. If you're going to meet with your personal trainer, wouldn't the thing that you do first is share what your goals are? Right? That makes sense. Like, hey, why are you here? Well, I'm here because I want to lose 12 pounds. Okay, from that aspect, we are able to build on those goals and try to make your weakness strong. Same with edification. If you're not going to share where you struggle, it's going to be really hard for someone to like build you up, right? Or to teach you or to instruct you. And so you either have to be okay with not sharing and potentially not having someone encourage you or edify you, or be a little bit open. But you do have to guard yourself against that. Remember in my testimony, I talked about the circle of influence, right? That's where that comes in. So like if you surround yourself with people that are like not going to help you, then you probably shouldn't expect help, right? If you surround yourself by people that are going to help you and encourage you and pour into you, then there should be a reasonable expectation that they're going to do that and you for them. So problem number one is we're not real enough. Problem number two is maturity. Like we're not mature enough to be a trainer, right? And what I mean by that is oftentimes we want to like give instruction, we want to edify, we want to teach someone, but how can you teach somebody something and go somewhere that you've never been? Like imagine going to the gym and meeting with like the trainer who can like not even lift the dumbbells or the barbell. Like the guy can't get it off his chest and all of a sudden he's going to teach you how to bench 300. Like you would look at him like crazy, right? Like I'm going to go see another trainer. Like I want to bench 300. You can't bench 45. Like I need to go find a new trainer, right? Same in Christianity. Like I want to get to over here in my spiritual walk. This person is not mature enough to get me there. I need to go find a correct trainer. Makes sense, right? So we have to be mature enough in our knowledge, in our perspective, and in our answers. So what's the solution to these two problems? Number one, solution one is you got to be personally trained. Personally trained. And this is a continuous, never-ending act. So like a lot of people get trained and then they stop. In the spiritual life, we should be always being trained. I should always be being trained by someone. So ask yourself, who encourages you? Ask yourself right now, who in this room is encouraging me? Who in this room instructs me? Who in this room is teaching me? Who in this room is accountable to me? Who in this room is my real friend? Who in this room can I be vulnerable with? Who in this room can train me? You ask that question. I can't answer those, right? But then once you identify that, you have to be willing to bring your guard down and be honest with that person. And after you do that, track your growth, right? Track your growth. Can you say that your footing in your Christianity and your walk with Christ is stronger today than it was yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? Can you say that? And if the answer is like, no, I'm not stronger today than I was last year, then what are you doing at the gym, right? I've been going to the gym for a year, and all of a sudden I'm weaker than I was when I started. Then I probably should either find another gym or make a change. The same is true in your Christian walk, right? If you're not stronger today than you were last year, there's a problem, right? We should be always continuously being trained and to continuously getting stronger, right? That has got to be kind of the litmus test for your life. And then thirdly, ask God about your barros. Ask God about your rocks. I don't know what your rocks are. I don't know what the hard things are for you. I don't know what the burdens are. I have no idea. No idea. If you want to share with me in confidence, that's great. I'm here to listen, right? And there's other leaders that can do the same, right? But this is part of the solution, right? Find out what is simply too big for you to carry and get someone to help you, right? I need that. I do that. I seek that out. You know, in marriage, you kind of have that natural kind of like helper, right? So like Aaron and I, like, what's hard for you? What's hard for me? Let's try to lift this rock together type thing. The same can happen at your age. So number one solution is be personally trained. Number two solution is be a personal trainer. So again, You have to move. You eventually have to move to the other side. So I'm being trained. Quit being on the take so much. Go to the other side and now be a trainer. So the solution number 2 is be a trainer. So same thing I asked before. I asked you, who's encouraging you? Who are you encouraging? Who are you instructing? Who are you teaching? Who are you building blocks with, right? Who's your Lego partner, right? Who's helping you build this tower, right? Who are you pouring into? Like, we should be continuous, never-ending act training other people. What are your simple words of kindness to each other? So we got to make this youth group strong, and I know we can do it. We have the students in the room to do it, but eventually you have to get to the point where I'm going to step up, grow up, and lead. And you got to move away from being train all the time into trainer mode, right? You got to kind of do both at the same time, and we need that. We need that from each of you. So here's the summary. Here's the conclusion, and I'm done. Life's hard, really hard, right? At times, extremely hard. Good news is I have you, and you have me. That's good news, and we need each other. These rocks that I have at times are super heavy. I need someone to tell me and help me. What do I do with these rocks? How do I get it to move to the next direction? We need each other. And one way that we do that is through our words, through our encouragement, and through our edification, which is our actions. But we got to be real about it. Don't be fake in your encouragement. Remember, you're part of this body. We're not all eyes. We're not all ears. We're not all feet. Weird-looking minion body. Not what we want, right? We want everybody to play their role. You have a role, but you have to be mature in your role, and you got to grow, and you got to grow stronger. Remember the progression. We should be getting stronger as we go along. And then last thing, sometimes you're the trainer, and sometimes you're getting trained, but both should be happening, and it's a continuous cycle and continuous act, okay? Let's get stronger. Let's do it together. If you need hype guy, I'm there for you. Like, it makes me uncomfortable sometimes, but I'll do it. I'll come to your house 5 a.m., man, honk that horn, get you going. Your parents will be like, who's that guy outside? Like, call the police, but it's cool. I need hype guy. I need hype guy in my life. Like, I can clearly know, like, I don't have a problem being trained. I don't have a problem being trainer. I don't have a problem getting spotter. I don't have a problem spotting. I have a problem with hype guy. There's days I just am not feeling it. And you may be able to see it on my face. And that's where you come along and say, hey, man, you good? Let's get you hyped up, right? So I'm being honest with you. 3 scenarios. 1 and 3, I don't really struggle with. 2, that's where I need you. All right, let's pray. God, as we close out tonight, we are thankful for the truth of your word. It's super clear that we should be doing both of these. We should be encouraging each other. There's times that we need encouragement, and God, we pray that you put those people in our life and our path that do that. And there's times that we got to get to the other side, and we are the encourager. And God, we pray that you equally put people on our path that we can recognize and say, man, the words I'm about to speak, hopefully, God, are life into their life. And same true with edification. God, that requires relationships. So put people in our lives, in our past, that we, number one, develop a relationship with, that we can instruct, and they can instruct in us. And we just do life together. Iron sharpen iron. Your word teaches that. Most of all, God, we just pray for growth, not growth in numbers. Growth in our spiritual walk, in our maturity. God, I pray tonight is part of that journey. When we started an hour ago, today now, in this moment, we're stronger. We're more mature. We have more knowledge. We have more boldness. God, thank you for your love and for your mercy. God, we just pray as we head to mentor huddles tonight that it's exactly what we just described. It's our opportunity to be vulnerable, to share, to encourage each other. Don't be fake. Be real. God, let us be real with each other. And in that, we know that's where growth will come. We thank you for your son. Help us to make his name incredibly famous. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, round of applause because we finished the series, guys. Thank you, Mr. Rich. Yeah. I know, you're excited about it. All right, well, This was one of my favorite parts of the series, and not because Mr. Rich did so much better than everybody else. He did a great job. The Lord worked through him. But because of the topic. Why do you guys think I love that topic? Thank you, Tyson. It's my spiritual gift. It's my top spiritual gift according to every assessment I've ever taken my entire life since coming to Jesus. That and leadership. But I love exhorting people, and I wanted to build on something that Rich said tonight, okay? When we talk about exhortation and edification, Mr. Rich mentioned how one of them is encouraging, right? Exhortation is encouraging, but here's why. When it's truly your spiritual gift, God gives you a unique and uncanny ability to see the good in everyone. And what you do when you exhort is you call forth or call out the strengths that you see in people that they don't even see in themselves. Edification, you're calling something else out, but it's not so positive. It's not meant to call it out and make fun of it. It's not meant to call it out and put it down. It's meant to call out something for gentle correction, improvement. So you're highlighting an area of weakness that maybe someone's not aware of, but it's for a good purpose. It's to say, hey, we want to work on that. We want to help you get through that. We know you can get past that. So that's the difference between the two, but they're both equally important. And it's okay if that's not your top spiritual gift and you don't see the good in everybody. You can still use the gift the exact way that Mr. Rich shared tonight, which is to encourage people, because we can all think of something kind and positive to point out in other people. And if it's hard for us to do that, again, we got to look at ourselves and go, am I just having a bad day? Am I in a bad mood? Well, who can fix that for us? Go ahead, scream them out. Amen, right? The Lord can fix that for us. We got to ask him, and then we can do that work. Now, I've got a few highlights for you guys, and because we finished the series, we had a contest going on for this series. And I mentioned that I was going to be judging people each week, right? Well, here's what we got. We had 1 week where we didn't have enough time to do the contest. We were running behind, and we had to quick get to life groups, so we just skipped over that. But I would like to award the person from 2 weeks ago who had the best, sportiest athletic wear, and that person was Tyson Loomis. Tyson, come on down. All right, Tyson, what you get to do, come on over here. You don't look in the bag, but you pull out a bag of candy and you pull out a gift card, okay? So go ahead, here you go. All right, what you get?
Gummy worms.
Gummy, all right, Charlie's. All right, pick out a gift card, all right? You're gonna feel that's smaller, thinner. Yeah, that's one. What you get? Starbucks, all right, nice. All right, last week, all right, I gotta say this. I said we could have people that win multiple weeks if they're really putting in the work, and I meant that. And there are 2 people that have consistently every single week so that we've been doing the message, have been working it. They are sporty, they are athletic, and I'm going to call both of them because it's this week's winner and last week's winner. Jordan Minard and Bella White, come on down. I mean, guys, you can't deny it. Look at them. They're like in their jerseys. They've got their joggers on. They got their matching shoes. I mean, y'all are great. All right, so I don't know. Jordan, you want to go first? Just pull out whatever candy bag and whatever would you get, all right? Some gummy rings. Okay, and then what gift card you get? Chipotle? Chipotle. Bella, that means you get whatever's last. You get the whole bag. Go ahead and take the whole bag. What'd you get in there? What's your gift card? What'd you get? So she's got gummies as well. Assorted gummies, and Tarjay. All right, congrats. Give him a round of applause. You guys, thank you for participating. It was awesome. All right, the other reason I like doing this message last is because next week we are going to practice and live out exhortation. Next week, highlight, drum roll, last night of student ministries for the entire school year is the Waterstone Young Gag Awards and Superlative Night. Yes, exactly. I want to see you guys there. We have nominees for so many different award categories and superlatives, which is like most likely to. And many of you guys served by being on video recording the nominees. So be there and be ready to cheer others on. See, we're going to be exhorting others. We're going to be calling out good things we see in them. That's what y'all did when you nominated everybody. We're going to be encouraging them. And you know what? It's not about, am I going to win? It's about, I want to celebrate other people winning. And if I happen to win something, cool. But it's going to be a fun night. We have a dessert bar. That's going to be at the beginning of the night. So come get your sweet tooth on. We'll definitely know who's the snack attack winner by that. And after that, we are officially on a 2-week break. Okay, 2-week break, and then we start summer activities the second week of June. So I'll have calendars for you guys to start registering. We're going to start off with Elevate, arcades, and laser tag. We'll be back at Elevate for bowling at another point. We've got a pool party and a barbecue. We got a lot of good stuff going on this summer, Venture Camp. So I want you guys to be present for that. Last but not least, last highlight, we have another student leader. Yeah, did you know that? Did you realize that? You're going, what? Who? Wait, I didn't see anyone in observation. What's going on? Yes, y'all, we have a new student leader that's going to be starting for the summer into the next school year. This person has spent a year serving as a volunteer for games. Miss Emily Deloach, come on down. Okay, now I need Miss Emily's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls to be her hype women. Get on this stage. We're going to pray over her. Come on down. Come on down. All right. Everybody else, you're going to pray too, but I'm asking the middle school life group girls. We're going to lay hands on Miss Emily. We're going to pray her in officially as a student leader. You guys ready for this? Let's do it. Y'all, put some hands on her. All right. Thank you, Lord, so much for Emily. We are so grateful you made her. We are grateful for the way you're shaping her heart and growing her. We're thankful that she's here with us and that she's becoming a student leader, God. You're ordaining this moment. You're preparing her to lead well. You're growing her and guiding her. And we're just grateful for the way she serves and loves and just makes us laugh, Lord. She is a wonderful addition to this team. Bless her and use her in mighty ways. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right.